And it looks like we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Crypto Crow. It's about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I figure I'm going to go live today, and I'm going to talk about what's going on in the market, some things that I really want you to consider. I think this is a video that I think everybody should watch because I think that there's a lot to be said. The problem is I have a throbbing headache, and it's likely because I've been painting. It's hard for you to see, but this is a thing that I'm working on. The arms aren't on yet. Uh, it's something I've been 3D printing and painting just because I haven't painted in, I don't know, it feels like a year. So, what's up, Jason Owen? Welcome, Alex. I see you, bud. So yeah, and I think that the airbrush stuff has me kind of like, woo. I'm like, I need to crack a window. So anyway, I thought I would just go live and just talk openly about a lot of what's going on. Uh, there's some big stuff happening. So first thing I want to address is Time for Love. They just had the first dress rehearsal rehearsal. Let's see if this is like a little video that I was working on for my wife and her Instagram, basically showing behind the scenes of kind of like the production and the rehearsals and who's in it, and just a quick little thing for Instagram. Time for Love, tonofapples.com, coming May 31st. It's a really, really big deal. Also, I had talked to Kashina briefly about yesterday's video, and I said, hey, let me know if your accounts started to blow up at all. And she said, oh my God, it's been going off all day. So thank you guys. I don't know exactly what the total is yet. I'm waiting for her to respond. But she said that her like Snapchat and Venmo and everything was just going crazy. It was clanging all day. So I really, really do appreciate it. I don't generally ask for anything from you guys, but every once in a while I might ask for some help for someone else. And yeah, she really needs it. So, and I'm actually in the process of getting her set up on a Cardano wallet, because, well, for one, everybody needs one, and two, that'll help me because everything I do is Cardano, right? I mean, let's be real about it. So yeah, I'm gonna kick her something to get her started in blockchain and crypto and all of that, and then maybe at some point, maybe at some point we'll have her on as a guest and maybe talk about not only just her life and like her struggle and what's been going on with Legionnaires, and but also like her career as a dancer and how that is translated into what she's doing for Time for Love. A lot of talent on this cast, man. A lot of talent. Horatio Goldfinch, Winston. These are the two primary actors for the story, the wealthy inventor and his assistant. And the story is that, and I'm going over this a bit while I'm letting some of like the people come into chat and so forth, get their notifications. I figured this is easier than just like, sitting here with like a tick down or a clock down, maybe stuff you're not as into, but it's better maybe than watching like a really long intro for the live. So anyway, and so Horatio invents this time machine, and then and he's never been in love. He's been working his whole life. And Winston, his loyal, faithful assistant, basically takes the time machine out, and he goes to all of these different times and eras, and he tries to find the most interesting or inspiring women of the world. And he brings them all back to ultimately perform for Horatio in hopes that he's able to find his true love. And they're all different styles. And so they all perform like Calliope. She's a incredible dancer, but she does paso doble in the play. Isabella. And if you want to know more, just go to Time for Love, and you can click on each of these and it'll tell you more about who they are, photos of them, all that kind of stuff. And I apparently I have her last name wrong. It's Rojas, not Rosa. So I need to go through and change all that soon. My apologies. But Isabella, she's a jazz vocalist. She's actually sung for presidents in the past. Obviously, my wife, Kristen, salsa. I think it's West Coast swing. She does Latin ballroom. You have Lana. who Lana is. So if you see these images to the right, these are actual images that I created using AI to reflect the kind of like what we want for the characters. Okay. And we found all of these people that basically not only perform what my wife was looking for, but they fit the descriptions of the AI characters I created when we first started working on this story. It's absolutely amazing. And Lana is like, I will say Lana, she's a drag queen and she's phenomenal. And she's not as big as when I thought of Lana and my wife were thinking of Lana, we're thinking of like a really heavy set woman who's just like witty, sharp, funny, kind of tough love kind of personality. But Nick, who's playing Lana, is like not as big, but dead on what we were looking for. And what's funny is Nick's show persona's name is Lana. I shit you not. Like, I don't know. It might not be as big a deal to some of you, but the way so much of this is lined up, you have Astrid, which is Christy, and Christy is an amazing aerialist. Fatima, she's basically like kind of an acrobatic Latin dancer. And then Kashina is Francesca, and Francesca is kind of this like BDSM kind of dark, mysterious kind of, but she's the pole dancer and she is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, like, this is definitely an 18 and up show. But tickets are on sale. If you're in the Tampa area, you're going to want to watch this. You're going to want to check this out. A lot of the marketing around Tampa is going to kick off 2 weeks before. I'm nervous. I'm scared. This is not cheap. This is really just kind of helping my wife, kind of bring a lifelong dream to fruition. And, it's a big deal for us. But anyway, it's a time for love. I can't wait to see what people have to say about this once they've seen it. We need to have somebody like at the exit, like, what did you think about this? Kind of doing one of those things. So anyway, yeah. Also, just a quick notice. Love you too, Jacob. Jacob Wondolowski. Appreciate that, man. Love from North Carolina. Murder of Crows. For those of you that don't know, this is about to end. So I think we have 7 or 8 days left of minting and the policy concludes. And I think honestly, there's like only about half of them have sold through since we launched this thing. I mean, you guys know me. I'm not great at like pumping stuff and like just drilling it into people's faces all the time. It's so annoying when I see YouTubers do it. So I try not to. But yeah, this is gonna be like the last 7 days, and Murder of Crows comes to an end. If you don't have one within the next week, you're not gonna have one unless you're picking it up on the secondary market. And right now, I mean, you can mint up to 10 at a time. And this is all through nmkr.io. And it's I see people posting them everywhere. I see them in the chat. People are using them as their avatars, and I love it because it's kind of like I know who's with me. Like, I know who's really a part of like my journey, my legacy, and everything that I've been doing. And this has just it's been like a really, really great time. And I'm like honestly kind of sad that it's gonna be over. It's not going to be over in the sense of like how we use them and what we put these things to use for in the future. I feel like that's going to be an ongoing thing for as long as I'm in crypto and as long as I'm in YouTube. But my Murder of Crows, these are my babies, man. Like, these are like, I almost look at it like a Cabbage Patch where you like adopt one. So anyway, it's a big deal, but yeah, you've got 1 week to mint some, and then that's it. And then you're basically going to be forced to buy them on the secondary market for whatever the values are at the time. So keep that in mind. That's murderofcrows.io. You're going to want to check that out if you're at all interested. And if you're not, you're not. It's all good. One final update. This, ladies and gentlemen, is WarGrim. And this is this is still in alpha. This is still like, being developed and everything, but we're really getting along. And I'm going to play this little video. It's 1.5 minutes. It's basically going to show you what WarGrim's play is going to look like. Some of the red outlines are for spacing and things for the time being, but those aren't going to be in the final version. But let's go ahead and watch this if you don't mind. And you guys are going to get a good look at what's going on with WarGrim. This is a real thing. This is happening. This is going to be badass. Keep in mind, though, there's no real animations yet, and we don't have audio yet, but it's all being lined up. It'll be in the next phase. Right now, it's all about play mechanics, card mechanics, all of that stuff, but you're going to check it out. You're going to see. So basically, just to explain some of the mechanics, like you're going to be able to expand on the images for the cards, because some of them are hard to read if you can't. So you're going to be able to blow the cards up. And basically, you're going to start your hand with like 7 cards. And then every turn, you're going to be able to lay one of those cards face down to become a resource so that you don't get, quote unquote, like mana locked, which I absolutely despise in games like Magic the Gathering. And, you know, every turn you can continue adding like your most useless card for the time you're in the game. And you can just throw it down as a resource. And so by like turn 2, you'll have 2 resources. Turn 3, you'll have 3, so forth and so on. And then the cost of the cards you play are up in the upper left corner. And it basically tells you need this many resources to play this card. And then once you play it, the effects, like you'll see like the text effects in the base down below, that can go into effect, or maybe you're targeting an ally for a bonus or benefit or whatever, or you're just attacking the commander on the other side. And basically the commander is it. When the commander's dead, the game's over. And so, I mean, it's going to play very similar to other TCGs out there in terms of the base mechanics of the game. But it's there's going to be a lot more to it. And so, yeah, that's WarGrim for those of you guys and gals that are interested. I really expect to see WarGrim blow up. I think this is going to be a really big deal because I've seen other trading card games on blockchain so far. They really haven't blown my skirt back, if I'm honest. And I really think that this is going to be it. I think this is going to be a really big deal. And of course, it's going to be built on Cardano, and it's going to be playable on just about everything, from your phone to your iPad to your desktop to your, like, I don't know, whatever. So this is my baby right here, folks. And it's funny because my lead developer has been renting my house. So I'm like, you know, I'm bringing my developers close. He's in driving distance, but I'm kidding. But yeah, he's doing a great job in leading the team and getting everything done and sending me regular updates on what's happening. And he takes my input. The new website is being finalized right now. Hopefully that'll be up very soon. Will each card be an NFT? Yes, they will. And on top of that, there are going to be ways of, so you can see these cards, right? You're going to have your basic mint cards, but then you're also going to have ways that you can either purchase or buy animated versions of those cards. And then maybe some other things, like we want to set it up so that, you know, there'll be things that you can place on the battlefield where maybe you have one particular item or totem or benefit or something, and you won't get those in boosters, but maybe you'll be able to buy those with Crow tokens. Okay. And those are things that when you play them at the beginning of the game, they will affect either the entire board, or well, generally they'll affect the entire board, because they have to maintain balance. But ultimately, they're going to be things that you're going to see on the table, like in the battlefield, and you're going to probably be able to buy those with Crow tokens. And I think that's going to be the primary use case for Crow tokens in WarGrim, are like, you know, it's almost kind of like if you've ever played Gwent, the Witcher 3 game, that's kind of like what this is going to be like. There are so many different elements of different games that we're kind of bringing into this with some other things that have never before been seen in a card game, that I've touched on in the past, but I don't want to get too deep into it. But yeah, like Crow tokens are going to have value, and they're going to be usable for things like this, especially in really highly competitive games, because there are some elements, like, you know, I play War Machine, which is a tabletop miniatures game, and I really like how that works. And like your commander card will have like a one-use flip, kind of like War Machine has with your Warcasters. You know, like once per game, you can basically do something big that will like really affect a lot of things, and it's very strategic. I think everybody's going to love this game. If you're into TCGs, you're going to absolutely love WarGrim. Like, no bullshit, it's going to be really good. Welcome, Adam R. I don't think I've seen you in chat for a while. So yeah, so there you go. That's WarGrim. Check that out. And let's dive into some what's going on in the crypto space, okay? Because the Cardano's dollar dream, is a price explosion coming or just deja vu? Okay, here we are again. Now, I don't even need to really read this article. It's the headline itself tells the story, okay? And there's something that I want to. So in the last market cycle before the 2021 peak, it wasn't that long, maybe a year before the peak, something like that, maybe 9 months, where Cardano was only 2 freaking cents. All right. And I've told people this multiple times. I had people messaging me all the time. Oh, if Cardano just gets to $1, if it just gets to $1, I'm going to be so rich. I watched your video last night. I just bought a whole bunch of Cardano, blah, 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 blah. I tell the story of the guy who like literally, he texted me and he called me and he was like, bro, if Cardano just gets to $1, me and 3 buddies are buying an island and you're going to come party with us. Well, I never heard from them again. I never heard from him again. My guess is they're on their island, and either that island got hit with a hurricane and they got swept to sea, or what, because I've never heard a word from them, because not only did Cardano hit $1, it hit $3. So the point of this is that I see all these narratives all over the place. Now, granted, I understand what it's like being a YouTuber and trying to figure out, what do I talk about today? How do I keep myself relevant? How do I keep the machine turning and things moving, right? And sometimes I just don't do a video. And then YouTube says, slacker, we don't really care about you. If you're not going to commit and you're not going to be on here every single day of your life, then the algorithm's going to slip. That's one of the reasons why I'm not as big on YouTube, is because I just do what I want. And if there's something to talk about, I talk about it. And oftentimes I find inspiration from other YouTubers, like yesterday's video and me talking about Benjamin Cowan and his stance on Cardano and Bitcoin and the markets and quantitative easing and tightening and all, how that can affect everything. So sometimes I like this morning, I watched Ben, I watched BitBoy. I know he's over that name, but I watched his video for a solid hour or so while I was painting. And just try to find things that talk about things that are interesting. What's my perspective on something, which is what I know a lot of you guys tune in for. And I'm very grateful for that. You guys know, I call it as I see it. I'm always right sometimes. And that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles with me. But this whole, like, will Cardano reach $1 narrative? Folks, Cardano is at like 50 cents. I mean, or what is it right now? I haven't even looked because I just don't care, because I'm not worried about it. Okay, it's down to 47 cents, so it broke under 50. But I told all my friends, it was up, it was like 52 cents or 53 cents or whatever it was, and I was looking at the charts and I'm like, you know what, don't freak out, but there's probably going to be another pullback. I don't think we're done yet. And that was a few days ago, and now it's under 50 cents again. Maybe it goes down to 45 or 40, who knows? I don't know. But I'm not worried, because around this time last cycle, it was around 2 freaking pennies, and it went to $3.14, and it wasn't even a completed blockchain. And then there's another article that I'm going to point out here in a minute that kind of talks about Solana and Cardano in comparison and their TVL, right? And all this bullshit. And it's like, it's all bullshit. The narratives about some of these tokens are such bullshit. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. But the idea that, Cardano reaching another $1 in this, or reaching $1 in this bull cycle, when it's currently sitting at around 50 cents, as it's being accumulated and things are happening, while it's a complete, 90% completed blockchain with all the bells and whistles of everything else. The only thing that's finalized right now is basically the built-in democratic, transparent system that we all know and love. That other blockchains are starting to try and FUD on that as well, basically trying to say, well, Cardano users are stupid, and if they're in control of like what happens on the blockchain, it's going to drag everything straight to shit. And it's like, a lot of people are just saying that. It's kind of like, You hate me because you can't be me. And that's how I read a lot of this stuff. There are going to be protective measures in place to make sure that big whales are not able to just basically chunk the token and basically chunk the entire project. Okay, that's not the nature of how this stuff works. I think it's all going to be relevant to the constitution of Cardano, which is going to be built into the system. And that constitution is not going to be like today, where we see everybody politically shitting all over it, ignoring it, breaking it, just doing whatever they want to do. It's like pandemonium today. You're not going to be able to do that stuff on Cardano. So it is what it is. But I just wanted to basically point that out, that, like, you know, I have absolutely no concerns whatsoever that Cardano is going to meet $1 at the peak of the cycle. I still believe in an $8 plus ADA by the peak of this cycle. I mean, you know, it's just stuff like this. It's stuff to basically say, here's something that you should read because it's something that's said every cycle. I'm not worried about it. Okay. Another quick note: I will be at Rare Evo in Vegas, August 15th and 17th. This is my wife's birthday month, so you can guarantee we're going to have some fun in Vegas. I don't know what that means because we're old, but well, I'm old. She's like 40 going on 25, but I you know, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a WarGrim booth. We're going to have, you know, we're going to display Murder of Crows, WarGrim, probably Crow Trader, my bot, which is about to get another big update. My dev is getting ready to launch the live 24/7 bot so that people can tune into it anytime they want and see what the bot's doing, how it's performing and all of that. So that'll be really interesting. But ultimately, Caesar's Palace in Vegas, I'll be meeting Charles Hoskinson for the first time. I think he's probably going to shit a brick when I walk up to him and he sees exactly how big I actually am in real life. Because it doesn't matter how many of you have watched me for years. The first time you meet me, I think every one of you shit yourselves. And I think it's kind of funny because all you see is basically my head and shoulders on YouTube, right? And then when you have this 7-foot monstrosity walking up to you, it's funny because, you know, even in my fight at Karate Combat with Moon Daddy was like 6'4", 6'5", 230, something like that. I mean, he's a big dude. I mean, he's not a small dude, but compared to me, I really did make him kind of look childish. And it was kind of funny watching that fight back. But anyway, yeah. Cardano price prediction. Is it over for ADA? This is so funny. I mean, the stuff that people are pumping out right now. Cardano price prediction is ADA drops out of the global top 10 crypto rankings. Is it over for ADA? These are the typical clickbait, you know, freak out for 2 seconds and pay attention to my articles. Folks, Cardano has bounced up and down, in and out of the top 10 of the crypto market cap since 2017, probably 25 times. Maybe 10 to 20 times, something like that. It's happened over and over and over. But the thing you also have to consider, take out the stable tokens. Take out the stable tokens and see where Cardano ends up. I think it ends up at like 7 or 8 or something. So, you know, the price action of today is just not a concern for me. It really hasn't been in quite a while. But I'm just pointing out like what some of these article headlines are. When I'm scrolling through and I see the news and I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. What is this, like the third time, you know, in the past year? It's like, come on, folks. Hedera's H-bar jumps 96% on misunderstood BlackRock update. Interesting. When the community became aware of the situation, Chris O'Connor, the founder of the Cardano Ghost Fund DAO, criticized the Hedera Foundation for what he perceived as misleading the public. And I saw Ben cover this a bit this morning. Hedera's native token H-bar experienced a nearly 100% surge in the past 24 hours. The rally was triggered by news that BlackRock, a prominent it's like the biggest one out there, prominent global asset management company based in the United States, was bringing its ICS U.S. Treasury Market Fund on chain to be tokenized on the Hedera network. That's what I read. In response to this news, H-bar price rocketed from 8 cents to 17 cents, almost 18 cents, on April 23rd, accompanied by a trading volume of $1.48 billion. according to CoinMarketCap. However, the digital asset has since retraced to 1.396. I think that's wrong. Retraced to about 14 cents at the time of writing, with a market cap of 4.99 billion, which is still significant. Let's be real about it. It's still significant. I guess I should blow this up a little bit more so you can follow it along a little easier. The confusion stemmed from a post by the Hedera Foundation, the nonprofit organization overseeing the network, on Tuesday on X. The post announced that blockchain trading and infrastructure companies Arcax and Onera had tokenized BlackRock's ICS U.S. Treasury Fund on the Hedera network. The post was accompanied by a video suggesting a partnership between Onera, Arcax, and BlackRock, with HBAR claiming to bring BlackRock on chain. However, the news was misinterpreted by many and even shared by crypto influencers, leading to the belief that BlackRock was directly responsible for tokenizing the MMF or had partnered with Arcax and Onera. The video received over 2.1 million views and thousands of reposts, contributing to the surge in HBAR's price by 96% on Wednesday. When the crypto community became aware of the situation, Hedera was criticized. He also made it clear that the world's largest asset manager had no hand in the MMF tokenization, clarifying that what happened was a project based on the Hedera blockchain through the secondary market, tokenized shares of a BlackRock fund. I mean, that's still cool. What did happen was HBAR was an HBAR project through the secondary market, tokenized shares of the fund, much like I can buy a Rolex, take a pic, and post it on my X account. Doesn't mean Rolex partnered with me, said O'Connor on X. He further expressed his frustration with what he described as misleading marketing tactics to artificially inflate the value of HBAR. Why don't we ever see this kind of stuff against Solana? That's what I'm curious about. I mean, we do, but we don't, right? Wink, wink. These kinds of misleading marketing pump my token pieces are gross, LOL. HBAR pumped 35% based on a non-event. Guess who gets wrecked in the few days as insiders take profit? Don't be a sucker. So here's the thing. Was this misleading? Yeah. I mean, obviously it was. Was it at the behest of Hedera Foundation? I don't know. Likely it seems to be that way. But I will also say that crypto is such a dog-eat-dog world, and we see so much garbage rise to the top because of bullshit marketing, and nobody bats an eye. It's almost like if you expect a company to be shit, as long as it makes the price go up, nobody seems to care. I mean, let's be real about it. You know, we're at a place now where it's almost like everybody. I actually kind of compare it to like some of the political parties out there where they ignore all of the terrible shit so many people in the party do, as long as they're pushing narratives and agendas that the individuals agree with. It's like, I really love yellow pencils. And as long as you support my love for yellow pencils, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're causing car wrecks on the road. I don't care if you're firebombing buildings. I don't care what you're doing. As long as you support my love for pencils, that's all I really give a shit about. And I feel like that kind of thing is what gets people into trouble. I mean, because eventually, everything changes, that yellow pencil is either just going to go away, or that yellow pencil is going to create like a lot of harm to me as an individual. But I'm still going to have my yellow pencil, but it just might be made out of like toxic materials or whatever. And it's all because I overlooked the really important things because of I just love yellow pencils. I don't give a shit about anything else. And I see a lot of that kind of stuff playing out in crypto. Is this right? No, it's not right, especially if it was intentional. But at the same time, it's kind of like fighting fire with fire to some degree. So 25 billion ADA in 24 hours. 25 billion Cardano ADA in 24 hours. What's happening? Now, this article isn't that clear, but basically it's talking about how 25 billion Cardano tokens or ADA tokens have been moving, right? And that it's almost kind of like a record high and like what's happening. And it doesn't say what they're moving or where they're moving to and from. It just says they're moving. And I think the ultimate idea is that people are preparing. Like, I think people are preparing. I think people have been accumulating, and I think they're moving them. My guess is they're moving a lot of these tokens off of exchanges into wallets and staking them. Because that's another side to like price action that a lot of people don't account for. If your ADA tokens are being held, technically that's like TVL, even though it's not included in any TVL equations in the market, because it doesn't really help the narratives of a lot of the competing blockchains out there. When you're staking your Cardano, it's not locked. You can use it. It's just that what you earn in yield the following epoch isn't going to be as high because you're going to have less ADA in your wallet that's being staked. And so because you can still freely use it, the benefit of it being delegated to a node like the Crow node, CROW, big selfless with shameless plug there. And we're working on, I've got my dev working on Hydra and everything. I want my node to do everything it can possibly do in the Cardano ecosystem. So just know that moving forward, like if there's a chance that we're all going to be able to delegate to the node and everybody kind of get little fragments of other cross-chain transactions and side-chain things, believe me, Chronode's going to be, I want it to be one of the first to do it. But don't oversaturate my node, please, because I'm probably not going to launch an overspill node this time. Yeah, I mean, in general, I just think people are accumulating ADA and these narratives about TVL and all that. It's also misleading and it's all such garbage. Now, there was an article that I had. Is it this one? Staggering ADA, delving into the on-chain, we see a notable spike in the number of large transactions, which often signify substantial wallet movements by whales or institutional players. Such movements can suggest preparation for market developments, bullish or bearish. Furthermore, the large transaction volume peaking at 27.67 billion ADA recently reinforces the intensity of this activity. Yeah, man, because people are gearing up. And, I think that everybody's starting to realize too that this downtrend that we're in, it could last a month or two. We've seen, post halving price momentum basically be stagnant for like 2 months after a halving. But what we didn't have are the institutions in play then. And so, it is what it is. But, I see a lot of metrics comparing. I guess it's not that article. I'm not sure which one it was. I see a lot of metrics comparing the total value locked of Solana, right? And I talk about Solana a lot because the press and crypto media talks about Solana a lot. Here, on-chain metrics demonstrate how Cardano is failing to attract a real base of crypto users, which is total bullshit. The blockchain has just $416 million in total value locked as per DeFi Llama. Well, I'm going to open that up because I want to take a look at it. That compares to well over $10 billion locked on the Solana blockchain. All right. Now, here's another thing that I want to talk about. All right. Because we see these narratives in the media, and typically when it comes to Solana, I've noticed that a lot of these articles are super misleading and total bullshit. So I'm going to look at this. I haven't looked at this stuff in a while. Well, it's 5.8 billion, not 10 billion. So that right off the bat, I guess that's just due to Solana's recent crash and the price getting hurt. When was this written? So Cardano's only 382.98 million, not 400 million, but at least it's not half. So obviously that's a pretty dramatic difference right there. I mean, and here's the thing with Solana is actually locked, but here's the side to this that people don't talk about. This is all based on value. And you know what, as a matter of fact, this is perfect to what I was going to explain in this. If the majority of Solana tokens are owned and managed by its founders and venture capitalist groups, and maybe 20-30% of it is available on the market, okay? Think about the numbers of this. Let's get real. And this is basically the whole point of what I wanted to address in this video, which is why I said, watch this video, is because if you compare Cardano with Solana, Cardano is in the hands of the many, right? You don't have, 50, 60, 70% of the total tokenization of the project in the hands of very few people, like 6, 7 people, maybe a couple VC companies or whatever. They can easily lock that up, okay, right off the bat. They can lock it, do whatever they want with it. And then they can take the remaining tokens that are out there, and I don't have all the pure tokenomics. If you got one of you guys wants to show me, by all means, show me. Maybe I'll dive into this and do a specific video on it later. But let's say there's 100 tokens, okay, total, and 80 of them are locked away, and then 20 of them are left on the open market for people to trade. And then I put, I don't know, however much money I want to, every week after week, pumping the 20 tokens that are available on the market, and the price goes up. What does that do? Well, that magnifies the total value locked. So if 80% of those tokens, let's say they were worth $1, I've got $80 worth of tokens locked up. I've got 20% of those tokens on the free market. Then I'm boosting the value of those 20 tokens because of a bunch of false narratives and paid for advertising all over crypto media, because let's face it, we're all whores. Okay. Then that $1 token now becomes $2. So you've got 20% of the tokens creating the market capitalization value of all 100. 80% of them are locked up. And it's easier and easier to control the price and where the price goes based off of media narratives and paid advertising. Okay. It's really just that simple. That is, in the nutshell, the way I look at all of Solana's tokenomics, which is probably also why the price had dropped so dramatically compared to what the article was explaining. $10 billion locked on the Solana blockchain. And this article is from, it's a 3-minute read that came out yesterday. So for whatever reason, the details that this gentleman had on Solana's blockchain was basically it's dropped $4 billion in 24 hours. And where's the narrative about that? Where's anybody mentioning that? Because it's so easy for a number to go up. The problem is that when people start dumping, they can rinse and repeat what they have. Let's say 80% of the tokens are controlled. I don't even know what it is right now. I remember back when Solana was on Into the Block, where you could get really deep into Solana's on-chain metrics and all of that data, which for whatever reason is no longer available, which I pointed out in a video quite a while back. I found that kind of sus, but whatever. I mean, every time I look at Solana, there's something else about it that just like, I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, and it still doesn't make any sense. And I'll see some comments in the comments like, but number go up. Yeah, number goes up. Number goes up until they decide, the people that control the majority of those tokens, that it's time. And when they decide it's time, you figure $4 billion drop in 24 hours. What are you going to do when you're out to the beach? Or what are you going to do if, the network shuts down again for a week, and, maybe the other people that are holding the majority of those tokens, and this could be reaching to some extent, but they decide to dump those tokens. Okay. I'm telling you, a lot of people I feel wholeheartedly, a lot of people are going to get wrecked with Solana, and Solana's not the only one. There are other projects out there doing the same kinds of shit. I just don't think they're as big as Solana because they didn't have as big a push, and they weren't like the second biggest holding at FTX. And, I just look at all of the shady stuff, and whether it's by design or it's just the way that things have come about, I have a real hard thing about Solana. And I just feel like, if there wasn't so much BS put out about Solana and it was able to just rise on its own merit like Cardano does, instead of like constantly coming for Cardano, constantly aiming at it, pushing bullshit like this. I don't know if this article is paid for. I don't know if Joe Frank, I don't know who he is. I don't know if this is a paid advertisement in any way. It doesn't say it is. But the thing of it is that a lot of times you'll see articles, you'll see content written in favor of a particular blockchain. Maybe it's not paid, but the individual could simply hold a lot of that, right? Or you know, like I hold a lot of Cardano, so I defend Cardano, and I talk about a lot of its competitors. It's no different. I mean, really, it's no different. The only difference is that I call shit as I see it. I don't make up a bunch of bogus bullshit to try and pump Cardano because I don't have to. And that's really the key difference. I'm a big proponent of Cardano, not because okay, so there's the disclaimer. It's not saying anything about it being paid. So, you know, I don't know. There's so many different elements to this. All I can really say is be careful what you read, and be careful where you put your money, because you just never know. A lot of it is bullshit. You know, looking at Bitcoin on Fairdesk, they're still my trade sponsor. As you can see, I'm in a negative $4,286 trade right now. You know, my liquidation price is like 47,844. It's only 3x. I've been in this trade for weeks now. I'm not going to get out of it. It's either going to liquidate me or it's not. But I believe that we're going to go up before we go down to 47,000. But I could be wrong, man. Crazier shit happens in Bitcoin. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. But you know, we're currently we're currently bouncing off of the 200 moving average. Sometimes I forget what's what, especially if I haven't looked at it in a while. We've broke down through, and this is an hour candle. We broke down through the 50 moving average a while ago. And well, not a while ago, since yesterday. And we're just kind of trending along on the 200. And the last time we broke below the 200 was all the way back here, 419. So basically a week ago. And it was trending up from there. And then here we are bouncing off of it. So the question is, do we break below this, which we're currently in line to do? Or do we touch on it a third time, or like a second time, and go up, touch it a third time, and then finally break through maybe sometime before the weekend? I don't know. We'll see, but it could go either way. But you know, I've looked at my other charts and it looks like we've got some room to go down. So it won't shock me if this happens. But ultimately, I expect us to set up a new channel, and I this is all still playing out through the channel I've showed on this show quite a few times. So I'm going to go scroll up to the top. I'm going to start addressing some of the comments, see how many I can get through before my head feels like it's going to pop, because it's already getting close. So hopefully I've helped some of you guys understand at least my perspective on some things, and I've exposed you to some cool stuff. David Peterson with his murder of crows in the avatar. I think that's a thing. That's a use case. I want your murder of crows in the avatar, and then I'll start addressing your addressing your comments and questions without you having to tip. I know a lot of people don't touch anything unless there's a tip associated with it. I don't want your tips, folks. I really don't. I appreciate it, but I don't even really know where they go. I just don't. I have no idea where my YouTube money goes. I haven't seen it, and God knows how long. Good God evening, Crow. Sweden here. Well, what's going on, Sweden? I love Sweden. Crow is badass. Well, thank you. I don't know if you're talking about me or the murder of crows or the crow token, but anyway, I'll take it. Ninja, what's up, Haven Cooper? You know the deal. I appreciate it. I'm sure she does too. I'm still waiting for her. I don't know if she's messaged me yet or not. And I'm going to take a look real quick and see if she said anything. She saw it, but she hasn't said anything yet. So I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I know it was blowing up on her yesterday. I am here to gain more wisdom. Well, thank you, Boniface. I try to dish it out as best I can. What's up? David Abade. Dope, says Jacob. Crow, your NFT takes forever to mint. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know why. That's the first I've heard that there's any issues at all minting the murder of crows. You only got a week left. You only got a week to mint your murder of crows and become a part of the murder of crows. Happy to be able to spread some wealth. Michelle Sunflower. Ada is a little disappointing up to now. Bought in last summer and have been waiting for something a little bigger to happen. This is every market cycle. This is literally every market cycle, people. You're gonna learn. You bought in last summer, so you got in a year ago. You've been waiting for the bull market to really kick off. We just had the halving. trust me, Cardano's probably going to go on 3 significant tears. If this is anything like the last market cycle, Cardano will go on 3 significant tears against Bitcoin as Bitcoin's rising, and you people are going to shit yourself. That's just the nature of what I've always seen in Cardano. That's why I'm so chill about it. Folks, you got to understand, like, and I'm going to be real with you. Like, the bulk of my resources, my everything is in Cardano right now. Cardano is some Bitcoin. So if Cardano did not do well, and I did not wholeheartedly believe in Cardano's future, and it did not do well in this by the peak of this market cycle, I'm struggling. Like, legitimately, I'll be struggling. I mean, I'm taking a big risk. But I wholeheartedly believe in everything that that Charles and everybody else involved. I mean, they have hundreds of developers working on this thing. This isn't like 5 guys working in a basement somewhere. Okay. And I believe in the actual use case potential for Cardano, especially once it's 100%. So, it's just one of those things where, I'd rather have the bulk of my assets in something that I believe in, that I've been following since 2017, pretty much every inch of the way, than some new shitcoin that's got a big narrative and a big story about how they're going to take over the world, like 30,000 others like it that have come before it, just to watch everybody get rugged and everybody get wrecked. I'm just not with it. I trust Cardano. Even if it doesn't, let's just say hypothetically it didn't even get to $8. All right. I believe it's going to. I really do. I believe we're going to see somewhere around $8 this cycle. But even if it doesn't, let's just say it got to $3 again. That's fine. You know why that's fine? Which I think it's going to break that. But even if it only got to $3, I've still done very well. That's cool. It's better that than something that basically rug pulls or blows up, or any number of like crazy things we see with a lot of these projects. To me, Cardano has absolutely stood the test of the time. It's only gotten better, like fine wine with age. And that's the way I feel about it. Now, I'm always right sometimes, and everything in crypto is risky, don't get me wrong, but always grateful for your honest support and market analysis. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. From Vermont. I have never been to Vermont, but I appreciate you. Can't watch till later, but wanting to give the engagement while you're live. Well, I appreciate that. Look at you guys thinking of me. I love you. What the F is this? Retro Beast. I have no idea what you're referencing, but it's probably something I showed. Oh, I'm guessing 159. I'm guessing it was my wife's play that you were talking about. What's up, Clayton Hosier? MIZ. Did you get the billboards finalized? Yes, I did. I ordered them, paid for them. It's all done. They're going to go up 2 weeks leading in. They should be in, I think I got 2 different billboards in pretty prominent areas in Tampa. So people are going to see them. And yeah, I mean, I'm nervous as hell, believe me. And I still have to figure out what radio station I want to work with in Tampa. I sent out press releases and things, and it doesn't seem like the media. You got to really, I don't know if you just need a publicist or what, but trying to do it yourself is not easy or fun. And but I'm trying to figure. I want to get my wife and maybe some of the cast members on the show. I want to get them on like a talk show in the morning and really talk about the story and the play and what they can expect to see. I'm telling you right now, people, this play is going to blow people's minds. Go ahead and massage the like button. Yeah, sure. Or just smash it. This price action totally sucks. Are you new to crypto? I mean, yeah, it's pretty much par for the course. Sup, nerds? Ada gang. What's up, David Peterson, with the murder of crows in the avatar? Site looks great. And I'm working on another site. I'm changing my original Cardano site. I'm going to make it a hub for newcomers to Cardano. Just haven't had time to work on it lately. Yo, Crow, is this the time to bag Cardano? I mean, I've been bagging it for well over a year. I've been accumulating. If Cardano were to get, like, if the market were to get like a real big drop and it gets back to 30 cents or something like that, I'm going to look at where Bitcoin's price is, see what the ratios are. I mean, I might be tempted, I might be tempted to pick up some more, but I think I'm good where I'm at. I think I like my spread. I like how my portfolio looks. I mean, my portfolio is already up. I mean, my portfolio's probably doubled since I started averaging in with my average prices and everything else. So, you know, I mean, I'm happy, but you know, it is difficult. It is difficult. ADA had better start going up sooner. I'm definitely switching it all into ICP. Well, that's entirely your prerogative. I hope that works out for you. Oh, nice bit of Queen's blood. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Is that a play? If you compare last cycle's top of around $3 and you believe this cycle will at least meet all-time high, then yes, YYW buying Cardano at 48 cents, where it's roughly right now, would be a smart move in my eyes, says Shiloh. I mean, it's basically where we're at. I mean, we're at a very similar price action point. It's just at a much higher price. So people justifying, you know, like if and that's the thing for early adopters, for newcomers to the space, it's a lot easier to look at the price of something that's 2 cents and ape in a little bit than when the price is 50 cents, right? Because the narratives haven't changed. Since 2017, the narratives for Cardano haven't changed. Cardano has been working itself against the grain and against the narratives of other blockchains since inception. Okay. The differences are now, you know, it used to be a ghost chain. It used to be vaporware. It used to be a scam. It used to be Charles was a con man. It used to be all of that bullshit. Now, all these years later, those narratives don't have a leg to stand on, right? Every one of them's been disproven in mass. And now it's become like the most developed blockchain out there, the most decentralized blockchain out there. Like all of those narratives have been completely turned on their head. So now it's how can competing blockchains bolster themselves with false narratives rather than try to dunk on Cardano, because dunking on Cardano has not worked. And here's the thing that everybody really needs to consider when you're talking about Cardano. You're talking about Cardano, plain and simple. I don't give a shit what the narratives are. People are still talking about Cardano constantly, and more people are talking about Cardano today than ever before in history. Okay, so people say, oh, and I've seen some of these guys, man. They're Solana holders or they're Ethereum bugs or whatever, and that's totally fine. Do you, boo? I don't give a shit. But you know, so many of these people try to say Cardano's not going to reach its previous all-time high. It's a dead chain. It's nobody's using it, right? And they're not looking at on-chain metrics. They don't give a shit about that. All they care about is perpetuating bullshit to people willing to listen to them. And unfortunately, there are a lot of stupid people out there who just either don't have the intellect, the aptitude, or the time to dive deeper beyond what is said. It's no different than, you know, politically, people look at headlines and they judge their entire political makeup based off of the headlines they've absorbed or swallowed like a blankety blank all over the news, which, you know, the majority of the news media is all leaning to one side. And I believe it's a very concentrated effort, you know, for a lot of what's going on today, but like, whatever. Who am I to really judge or dictate any of that? But we see all the same kind of stuff play out all over the place. And yeah, I'm not as affected by it as I used to be. And I honestly learned a hard lesson. Like I say all the time, there was a period in the last cycle where I could have bought like 450,000 ADA for one freaking Bitcoin, and I passed. I should have bought 2 or 3, and I didn't. And I just kicked my own ass every day since. And I feel like that's kind of where we're at right now. You know, it's like, but the only difference is this time I started averaging in much earlier. Now the spread against Bitcoin might be better today than it was, you know, 6 months ago. But the price of both have shot up dramatically. So it is what it is. All right. So now we're back to down there where I answered that question by Mr. Jason Owens. Should make it so staking crows gives higher chance at rare cards. Very interesting. Very interesting idea. The problem, I think it depends on how popular WarGrim is. You got to understand that there are so many there are so many, like if there's a way to do that easily, I'll ask my dev and I'm like, hey man, is there any way that this could be a thing? I don't know. Maybe it's just a matter of just constantly checking the addresses that are delegating to Cronode. And then when those addresses are put into the system, maybe they get a 20% boost in potential, like, I don't know, bonus resource or bonus something as it relates to minting. I don't know. If there's a way to do that, I'm happy to do it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So yeah, I'll look into that. That's a good. The thing is like if it's a big project to establish that kind of use or functionality, it might not merit it. It just depends on how successful WarGrim really gets. If WarGrim becomes like the TCG of blockchain, and like tens of thousands of people are playing it and winning and earning and doing all kinds of fun, crazy stuff, and it becomes like a really big monster, then yeah, man, there's no limit to what we would do. Absolutely no limit. I mean, we're building this game for trading card players and blockchain people. And we want, you know, even if you're just like an avid TCG collector or player or a competitor, we don't want you to have to really know blockchain to play the game. You know, like we want it to be as simple as like 1, 2, 3, you're in. And I think we're going to be able to do that. I think we already kind of are. It's only a realm. I know it's only a realm. I proved it's only a realm. Do you have a conscience, you know, an inner voice, a 5-dimensional consciousness? Because you do. That means it's only a realm. Is that a line from, what is that, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or something, Jamie? I'm not sure, but that's what it reads like. Serious question then, what is the best buy right now, ICP or ADA? That's for you to decide. I don't tell people really what to buy or what to do with their money. It's different for everybody. You know, don't do what I do. I tell that to everyone all the time. You know, my means, my understanding, my risk tolerance, my everything might be very much different than yours. I don't know who you are. I don't know if you're worth $50 million and you're like, hey, I want to catch this old guy on the internet talking about crypto and I'm going to put $5,000 into one of the two because I'm bored. I don't know. Maybe you've only got $5,000 to your name and you're desperately trying to figure out a way out of a hole. I don't know. And that's the thing. And, you know, this is honestly one of the reasons why so many of us say, do your own research. Don't rely on what any of us fucking YouTubers have to say. Okay. Ever. I don't give a shit how much you love us. You know, I almost attribute to, because I know that a lot of you guys really love me and you really respect me and you really value what I say, because I see it in all of your messages, your DMs. I've had Telegram, Twitter. I even get stuff on Instagram. Folks, I don't even know how to use Instagram. I have an account. I don't do shit with it because I don't really understand it. It's the most like shitty app I think I've ever seen. It's like not fun. It's like vomit to me. But you know, I tell everybody, like, don't do as I do, you know, or don't do as I say. Do what I try to point people in the right direction. I call shit as I see it, through and through. That's all I can offer you. I will not tell you to buy Cardano. I will not tell you to buy ICP. I will not tell you to buy any fucking thing. I will not even tell you that a project is good that has paid me to be on my channel if I don't think it's good. Okay? You like my thoughts are my own. My thoughts are not controlled by money, by power, by anything. It is just powered by what the fuck I feel in the moment in time, and that could change tomorrow. But I will not tell anybody what you should do with your money. That's all there is to it. And if you don't have an idea as to what I think or how I feel about particular projects, it's because you don't watch me enough. I feel like the people that watch this channel religiously, anytime I tune in or I'm going live or I've got a video and I've got something to say, it's more often than not, and I've heard this a million times, it's more often than not that the bigger, most beneficial nuggets of what I have going on or what I have to say have nothing to do with the actual thumbnail or the actual topic of the video. Because if I can run on a tangent where I just vomit like my truth, my true feelings about whatever the case may be or whatever's going on, or maybe I'm reacting to a comment like I am right now. I just, like I always say, I call it as I see it, and I'm always right sometimes. And that's the best I can offer anybody. And anybody in crypto that tries to say different's completely and utterly full of fucking shit, hands down, period, end of story. And you know, that's all there is to it. None of us are fortune tellers. None of us are geniuses. None of us are anything special other than this is what we do. We have more time to put into the research, reading what's going on, understanding the tech behind any particular project that interests us. And we typically talk about it. And we'll do paid segments. Some of us disclose those paid segments. Some of us will do a paid segment, read a script provided by the company paying us, and just regurgitate whatever the hell we're told. I won't do that shit. I don't care if somebody offered me $1 million. I've turned down $1 million, literally. I've turned down $1 million in tokens of projects in the past because I've hired a lawyer that would research them and research the team and tell me it's a gray area, but I probably wouldn't do it. $1 million, goodbye. I don't want it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want any bullshit. I don't want any trouble. I don't want anybody getting caught up in anything. I want everybody that watches my channel to do well, and all I can offer is the best means I know how to try and effectively do that, and that's fucking it, period. What up? Finally caught alive. What up, Adam? CSPR over ADA, but you can't really go wrong with either. All right. WarGrim looks cool. Thank you. It's been a hot minute. Stupid life getting in the way of my crypto fun. I totally understand how that is. Holy crap. Good for them. Respect. I will tell you guys, I'll let you guys in on a little alpha for something. I can't. Oh, okay. You guys can probably figure it out. I'm not 100% that this is going to happen yet. But I will say that somebody I fought in the past, there's only two options there, I think, really. Somebody I fought in the past may very well be accepting a fight against somebody I'd personally love to fight, but I can't. A, they'd be stupid as hell to take that fight. But B, because I just think I'm done. But I am going to be training them personally to whoop this dude's ass. So we're going to see how that comes about. I really can't say anything more because I don't think the contracts have been signed yet. I don't know, or I don't know what. And I'll also say that I'm trying to get an old friend of mine who's like a jujitsu badass. He even said he'd be willing to go up against that Mikey Musanishi or whatever. I can't his last name. I don't know. He's a cute kid. He's super smart, and he's all he eats is like pizza and pasta every day, and he's got this really regimented daily diet and all that. But he's probably one of the best in the world. And I think honestly, they're probably both two of the best in the world. If you've got 10 guys in jiu-jitsu, my friend is probably, I would say, maybe in the top 5, especially at his weight class. I mean, I've known him since he was like, hell, I don't know, 15 years old. His sister was a ring girl for me when I was a fight promoter. And I mean, he used to be such a spaz, man. I mean, I remember he would come over to the house, man. We'd play video games, and you'd get on the mic just like trolling people. I mean, he's funny. And now he's like a grown-ass man driving a Lambo with multiple jiu-jitsu gyms and stuff. And it's just like, it's so funny to watch how he's changed and grown up as a man. But he's good. And I put it in, I put that in Karate Combat's ear and said, hey, you know, he's willing to basically grapple against the best in the world if you want somebody who's really good and has a big following online. So we'll see if we can help facilitate some of that. Boy, we've been live an hour. Oh my gosh, 1,124 people. Oh, $5 ADA peak is very conservative. Yeah, last Gambit, I totally agree, man. I absolutely agree. But, you know, I do try to be conservative. I think $8 is I think $8 is very fair for this cycle, given everything that's happened on Cardano since it was $3. It just sounds crazy to me. Anything less than $8 will surprise me, but anything is possible. We'll have to see. I honestly think $8 to $10 realistically. And if we are somehow in some sort of super cycle that really, you know, like we don't have a peak for 5, 6, 10 years from now, who knows? Then, I mean, you know, anything could happen. Crow did end up getting a well-deserved bump in help. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Poe Man. Help in what? Maybe. That That's stupid. If you're talking about Cardano, you're well misinformed. Hey, Crow, with SNEC being the best meme coin on Cardano, what could you see its market cap being at the peak of the bull run? I'm sorry, Johnny. I don't know where you've been, but Crow tokens are the best shitcoin of Cardano. Okay. And that's it. Well, that's the Crow Dono node. That's my node, Crow node. Okay. But yeah, dude, hold on a minute here. Hold on a minute. Can't believe I can't believe you're doing that. Can't believe this is the best shitcoin on Cardano. Okay. All right. It's available at ViFi and I think MinSwap. You can go get some right now if you wanted to. You don't have to. It's not going to make you rich. Okay. But it is my legacy token. No, all jokes aside, SNEC being the best meme coin on you say is the best. Crow is the best shit coin on Cardano. SNEC can be the best meme coin on Cardano. Okay, that's fine. Whatevs. All right. But I don't know, and I keep seeing things happening that. Okay, I wonder if that has anything to do with that. I'm gonna do something here real quick. Turn on. All right. Now I've got that on. I feel a little bit better. So yeah, I don't know what do you see its market cap being? Maybe I'll do a video. So I don't even have any SNEC. You know what, SNEC people, send me like 10 billion SNEC tokens, okay? And then I'll start covering it. How about them apples? No, I'm kidding. I don't know, but maybe I'll do a video sometime in the future where I'll break down some numbers for SNEC and see what might be possible. I need to look at its history. I need to look at where it's at, what it's done in the recent time periods, accumulation, how many tokens are out there, all of that stuff. It's a deep dive. Typically, that's the kind of stuff I do as part of a paid segment, but because I love all you Cardano people, and I know that a lot of you guys hold SNEC, I'll show some love right back at you, and we'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll do one of those this week. The more you guys hype Cardano, the more the price drops. That's not true either. You guys get out of here. You guys are ignorant as hell. The only thing holding ADA back is no USDT and USDC. Simple as that. Eddie, maybe, I don't know, but quite honestly, I don't think I think that's kind of a bonk narrative too. I think the only thing holding Cardano's price action back is the market overall. It's where we are in the market cycle, folks. This is nothing new to anybody that's been a part of this thing forever. It's just not how things roll. Now, I saw somebody I saw somebody tip, and I don't know what happened to it because I was rambling. Well, a lot of comments. I always see my gay for crows. I don't know why I love those. I just think they're hilarious. I love it. Everybody's tired of this market. I get it. I get it. This is the calm before the storm, folks. See, here's what's going to happen. This is what plays out right now. So there are so many people who are like, I'm tired of this market. The market's boring. The price isn't moving, blah, 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 blah. Right. But when was the last time you bought some? Like, when was the last time you have accumulated another round of ADA? I'm just asking. Okay. Or whatever other project is out there. Okay. That you like. When was the last time you actually bought a significant amount? My guess is probably not recently. Why? Because the market has been more or less sideways or choppy within a specific channel now for like a month or two or whatever, and is likely going to continue for a month or so. All right. We had a Bitcoin all-time high before the halving, and then stuff petered out. All right. Everybody started to get amped up. Like, here we go. And I'm like, I don't think so. But it is what it is. Right. The problem is that if people aren't accumulating, the price doesn't move. People aren't accumulating because they're waiting for Bitcoin to tell the tale. And so, it's like people can be tired of this market, but what's going to happen is, let's say in 2 months, the market really starts moving, and Cardano, you wake up, Cardano's 53 cents, and you go to sleep, and then Cardano's $1. And what's the first fucking thing that's going to come out of your mouth? Damn it, I should have bought more. Son of a... And that's what's going to happen. You've got this whole time where you're bored, but I'm guessing you're not accumulating. So you're going to wait until what you've already bought is worth more to basically react and say, I wish I would have got more when I could have. And by then it'll be too late, because that'll be the first of multiple pumps that Cardano is going to have in the bull cycle. And then you're going to be like, wow, man, I bought all of these before it was even 50 cents. Now it's $1. Man, I just don't know if I feel right buying. And then you're just going to keep talking yourself out of shit. Then what's going to happen is you're going to go desperately look for something else you can buy for 2 to 5 cents that you expect to go 100x over the next 6 months, so that you can kind of like feel better about all of the misaction or non-action you didn't take when you had the opportunity. That's what's going to happen. And it's going to be that desperation that fuels the greed and the FOMO. And then that greed and FOMO fuels the rest of the market, because everybody's doing the same shit, trying to play treasure hunter. And then a lot of those projects are going to go to shit, and we're going to get all of the articles like, oh, this project rug, that project rug, like $1 billion liquidated, this and that. And it's going to be because of all the desperate acts of people that waited around too long, waiting to be told what they should do when we already know we're in a bull market. To each their own. To each their own. And then it's obviously going to be a lot of the newcomers to the space as the prices rise, that are ultimately pushing the price even higher than it's ever been before. Okay, I just got an update real quick from Kashina. Over $1,000 was sent to her Cash App and her Venmo accounts from yesterday. So thank you guys very, very much. That's a really big deal. She said so far $1,025. I can show you right there. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, so far $1,000. So yeah, folks, I really appreciate that. I'm sure that helps her immensely. Once I get her set up on the Cardano wallet, I'm going to match that. We'll just put it that way. I'm going to match that in Cardano. So thank you guys for helping her. And when I've done that, I'll send the transaction or a picture of it or something, so you guys know I'm not about the bullshit. Okay. Oh, here it is. Good. I wanted to show this before I concluded. I have no idea what it is. Hey, brother, when's and where is your next public event? My son and I want to say hello one day. Gregory, thank you for the tip, man. I don't know. I know that some of you guys are going to my wife's play in May, where I'm going to be there. Obviously, we might do like a little after party or something like that, but obviously that's in Tampa. I don't know where you're from. Beyond that, the next public thing that I have planned in the books is in August in Vegas at Rare Evo. And I know that a lot of people, something tells me I'm going to need to take extra vitamins. And my wife is going to have to put me on some like Biden boosters or something, because when I get out there, something tells me I'm going to be doing a lot of pictures, a lot of, meetings and meet and greets, and a lot of talking and a lot of handshaking and a lot of pictures, all that stuff. And something tells me I'm going to need a nap. I'm going to need my old guy nap in the middle of the afternoon, but I'm going to try and meet as many people as I can while I'm out in Vegas. And I know that a lot of people have already messaged me saying, hey, I'm going to meet you. Where are you going to be? And I'm like, okay. I don't know 100%, but I am going to have a booth. And what I would suggest is follow me on Twitter. Because even when I'm not, like, if I'm anywhere, I always have my Twitter, and I typically will update things on Twitter that I don't update in videos. Kind of like the peak of the market, the double peak of the market. I was getting on a plane. I didn't have access to anything but my Twitter and my phone. So I tweeted that out. So, maybe I will announce things. Maybe I'll get some security and then I'll announce where I'm going to be at different times while I'm in Vegas. I don't know what the concealed carry laws are in Vegas, but I might have to find out just in case. I don't know. I don't want to end up in the back of a van with a hood on. Okay. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, let's see what else here. WarGrim looks like it's AI generated, especially the reborn cards. Will you replace the art with human made art at some point? Is this for the vibe, or are these images will be minting? No, they're mine. I'm doing them in AI, and I'm absolutely proud of it. I don't have $400 or $500 to spend on individualized art or the project I'm funding, with very, very little help. So if you're against AI art, I can tell you it is just prompt crafting for AI art is still a very difficult challenge. But yeah, I'm absolutely proud that I'm doing this in AI. Even the background you saw, I did it in AI. The majority of what you see is done in AI, and there's no problem whatsoever with that. Listen, I don't have $1 million or $2 million to pump into to creating this. So due to artificial intelligence and my ability to utilize it, because I've been using it for so long, it's empowered me to do things I wouldn't otherwise be able to do. And so, quite frankly, whether you can specifically look at a card and say, I think that was AI, or I think that was done handheld by pastels, or what, it doesn't matter. Because the thing of it is, I've tried doing things. I've tried doing projects, hiring artists and doing that, and they just fuck you. I'm sorry, but they just screw you at every turn. Every time I've hired a freelance artist for anything, they have always, with the exception of one person, was legit and did what he said and came through with flying colors. And that was the guy who did my Twisted Times NFTs and my Murder of Crows. It was the same guy who did the art for both. And that dude was a boss. But anybody else I've tried to hire, they've all fucked me over. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to use AI, and I'm going to create the art that I want. And yeah, I'm proud of it. But if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's okay. See you at the show in Tampa, Crow. Is it okay to come and speak to you after the performance? Absolutely, Jason. Yes, absolutely. Hashtag ninja. There we go. I appreciate you, man. But yeah, dude, preferably not during the play. But if you run into me before or after, I can kind of hang somewhere, so, I mean, it's not like you're going to miss me, dude. Like, let's be real. You're going to see me from the moon. But yeah, man, come up, say hi. We take picture, whatever you want, man. I'm totally down. I think there are some people that think ADA should move based on their personal bags. It doesn't work that way, folks. Tony, I totally agree. It's not about the personal bags. It's about the tech behind it. And there's no equal when it comes to blockchain tech, decentralization, and everything else Cardano has going on. What do you think has better returns, World Mobile Token or ADA? That's a good question. I really don't know. I think World Mobile Token is one of the first major significant use cases, not just in Cardano, but in the world, like of all blockchains. I just think we lucked out with World Mobile Token founding itself on ADA. So we'll see. I mean, I have high hopes. I think Copy Token is going to be a banger too. Once Cornucopias reaches some pretty significant milestones, being primarily the ability to start building your own domes. I'll tell you guys this. I'm pretty sure I can say this. If not, then they'll be mad, but they're not going to sue me. They love me as much as I love them. But I asked them flat out. I'm like, listen, when these domes launch, am I going to have to hire a team like with Sandbox? You have to hire a full-blown team to do anything in that. The voxel art, the pixel art, the style, the tools, everything. It's super complicated, very wonky. It's not good. I tried hiring people to build my because I've got my 3x3 plot. I still have that in Sandbox, but I couldn't do anything with it. People are trying to, it's going to cost you $80,000 to do what you want in Sandbox. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You guys are out of your mind. So that's how expensive it was for me to build what I was looking to build on a 3x3 plot in Sand. But with Cornucopias, I asked them flat out, I'm like, will I have to hire a team to build my dome and to do what I want to do? Or will the tools that exist be all I need to do it myself? And they're like, 100% you're going to be able to do it yourself. Like, we're building it. And I'm like, man, when you launch this shit, I'll tell you right now, when Cornucopias launches the means of being able for me to be able to build my dome, my arena, my world and my dome, and I can just sit there, I will fucking live stream all day that I'm working on that and just show you like what I'm building. I'll take advice from you guys. Like, I kind of want to do this. What do you think? And we'll design Crow's Nest together to a certain extent. I want a live streaming stage. I want to be able to do like the virtual DJs. I want to have events. I'll do lectures. I'll do interviews it'll be exclusive to, and on top, man, I've got so much shit. I don't even want to give it all away yet. I don't want to break it. I almost lost it for a minute. I'm not even going to tell you folks what I got planned, but let's just say that there's an internal game system that I want to create specifically for my dome that only works in my dome, that is going to be Badass. And you're only going to get access if you have a Murder of Crows NFT or Crow tokens. That's it. That's it. So when I do big special events, I might say, hey, there's a ticket fee for this event because maybe it costs me a little money to do. But then I want to try and recoup that by saying it's going to cost you X Crow tokens and you'll pay for admission with Crow tokens. Shit like that. So, I mean, the stuff I have planned, I'm telling you, I think it's going to get really badass. But once that stuff kicks off, and we're going to have so many people, think of the number of people out there that have been, they're still streaming, building their bases in things like No Man's Sky, right? No Man's Sky. Look at this. I mean, there are videos all over the place with millions of views just showing the amazing cool shit that people have done building bases in No Man's Sky. They're not financially motivated to do that or to build those bases. Imagine when you can do that on land you own in a metaverse like Cornucopias. If you guys don't realize yet how big and how significant Cornucopias is and how significant it's going to be when a lot of this key stuff launches, I'm telling you right now, as long as man, you know what? Anyway, No Man's Sky is a buggy mess. Mike, when was the last time you played No Man's Sky, bro? Like, really? Because No Man's Sky is like one of the biggest, cleanest, baddest freaking open world exploration games out there today. I know when it launched, it was a buggy shit show, but that was how many years ago? And the team has like perfected it, expanded it. I don't know how many times with major, huge updates and extensions on everything. No Man's Sky is badass, dude. I don't know. It had to have been a long time since you've played that game. WarGrim Gaming Room. Oh, that's so funny that you say that, but that's just one thing. That's just one thing. I really want to build Crow's Nest in Cornucopias as a place that I virtually exist all the time. And like as much involvement as I can establish in my dome. Keep in mind, I don't just have a dome. I have other land as well. And you know, how I utilize those, we'll see. Yeah. So, all right, folks, it's time for me to sign off. My wife just told me she made some food and I'm hungry. I've been on here an hour and 20 minutes. This might be my longest stream in a year. So make sure you go mint yourself a Murder of Crow NFT if you're so inclined, not because you're going to get rich, but because you love my channel and you love what I offer. Yeah, you know, you got like a week left until the policy closes. And you're not going to be able to mint anymore. So after that, it's all secondary market. So if those things become useful, yeah, those are probably, yeah, I don't know. You'll probably be glad you have at least one, especially if you think you're going to want to participate in anything I'm doing over the next couple years. So until next time, guys and gals, thanks for joining me. I am the Crypto Crow, and I'll see you again soon. Crow your coins.